Alrighty, hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys had a great Wednesday, hump day. We're middle of the week right now. Bitcoin didn't do too great today. I mean, it was up in the green, but the miners definitely took some profits off the table, looks like. So we'll get into that. But here's what we got going on. Basically, we're going to talk about Cleanspark Riot. They provided their August updates for us. Hive got to 18 exahash, which is great news there. We're going to do a correction on the break-even numbers as well. For the miners, Mara, I had off on one of their numbers. We'll correct it. I'll show you guys the results on that. Rate cuts are also upcoming here. We got an update on that. We'll take a look at, obviously, Bitcoin miners, get into Q&A, and that should be it for the stream here. So, as always, you guys know the drill. Not financial advice. For doing only. Do your own research. Full disclosure below that. Hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously here. And let's take a look at what's going on here with Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin, like I said, was up just a little bit here. Where am I going? I'm going here. So, Bitcoin, like I said, was up just a little bit today. Was up approximately 0.46%, not much, right? But it was at least up. It's still battling with that 100 simple moving average here, the line here, blue, red, right? This line right there, it's battling with it. And I mean, it's having a hard time getting above it. We battled with it on Tuesday, today as well. We're kind of battling with it right now. Can we get above it and close above it? I think so. It might take another day or two, maybe by Friday. We'll see on that one if that's going to play out properly or not. But yeah, that's kind of where we are right now with Bitcoin, right? But miners, for the most part, like 95% of them were in the red today. Let's take a look at Ethereum here for really quick here. Ethereum was up a little bit as well. Today was up 2.91%, so that one actually did better than Bitcoin here. Markets were kind of mixed. Dow Jones was down 0.05%. NASDAQ was up 1.02%. S&P was up 0.51%. The Russell was down 0.1% there. And the miners, well, Bitfarms is down 3.73%. It is still above the 200 SMA, so that's still looking pretty good there. Just closed shy of that number there. BitDeer was down a lot, 6.88%. Not sure what's going on there. That one kind of bounced off the 50 SMA. Kango was up 3.85% after being down quite a bit here today, so we had a little bounce there. Cypher was down 2.52%. Cleanspark was down 2.07%. CORZ was down 3%. Hive was down 2.37%. Even though they came out with really good news for getting to 18 exahash like they said they were going to do. So a little surprise there. HUT 8 was up just a little bit here, 0.99%. American BTC went live today. We'll take a look at that one here in a second. I have that one listed down below. IREN was down 3.09%. Mara was down 1.06%. Riot was down 4.54%. Wolf was down quite a bit, 6.75% there. So a lot of profit taking happening here today, which is not out of the ordinary here. We obviously had a couple of nice days here where we were in the green on a lot of these guys here. But for the Bitcoin holders here, MicroStrategy was down 3.3%. Galaxy was up 1.08%. Block was down 0.58%. Coin was down 0.41%. Metaplanet was down 9.13% today. That one's not doing great at all. It is at least holding right now the 200 SMA there. We'll see if it can continue to do that. Exodus was down 1.86. Nexon was up a little bit, 0.65. Semler was down 1.23. Phoenix was down 0.97. And GameStop was down 2.26%. Small miners down for the most part, except for DGM blockchain this time around was up actually 10.36%. We saw yesterday DigiPower being up, but everybody else was down here on it. Bitcoin miner ETFs were down for the most part after having a nice run up here recently, so that's kind of understandable there. For BitQ, BKCH, same thing, right? Nice run up here. So a little correction was probably due. Same thing with DAP there and WGMI. I mean, look at that thing. That thing's been going like crazy, so correction was needed here, I think, in the general market for Bitcoin miners in general. Ethereum holders here, BMNR was up a little bit today, 5.58%. BTBT was down 4.21%. BTCS was up 6.62%. Game was up just a little bit, 0.05%. And SBAT was down just a little bit as well, 0.94%. Look at American BTC here. That one, ABTC, that's on the daily. Why is it showing me now 200? That is just weird. Ha! Okay, that's a little weird. They got to $200. I don't think that's correct. I think it was trading somewhere between, let me see if we can look at the 15-minute chart on that one. Yeah, I think it was trading here, let's see, Wednesday at 9 o'clock. It started trading here. So somewhere around $8. That is weird on the chart, why that one's doing it. Let me see if I can refresh this, see if that helps. I don't know if that's going to work or not. We'll see. Okay, that's Hive. I wanted American BTC here. That chart is way off. Okay, so it was up, it was down, kind of leveled off towards the end there on it. The valuation on it, at least from what we're getting here from TradingView, right now is 571 million. It looks like. I saw some reports that it was being valued at like $8 billion or something like that. I'm like, okay, that's ridiculous because IREN's at $8 billion. They got 50 exahash. They got also GPUs generating revenue for them as well. So I thought that was a little weird. We'll see if this is the correct number. We'll figure that out in due course. In the number of days here coming up, we'll probably get that all resolved here going forward. All right. So there's that. Miners here in the after hours right now. BitDeer is up 2.94%. Bitfarms is flat right now in after hours or pre-hours. Kango is down 0.41%. Cypher is up 1.11%. Cleanspark is up 0.53%. CORZ Scientific is down 0.29%. Hive is up 1.39%. Hut 8 is down 0.25%. IREN is up 1.13%. And Mara up 0.06%. Riot up right now 0.15%. TeraWolf is actually down 0.11% in the after hours or pre-hours, however you want to look at that. Going down to Bitcoin here. Bitcoin right now for the month of August is up 3.32%. So still pretty good there. Bitcoin ETF inflows continue to happen here. Kind of small though today. 10.7 million right now without IBIT reporting BlackRock basically. Yesterday we had 332 million, right, with BlackRock reporting of 72.9 million. So nice inflows there. Today, definitely much more muted. We'll see how this continues going forward there. And some of the good news stories that we do have here revolve around September rate cuts happening here. So September rate cuts odds spiked to 98%. And that was based on the jobs report that came in. That came in kind of light here. It was like 7.16 million jobs instead of the anticipated 7 point something million. So that was down a little bit from the expectations. And then also we have this. Fed Governor Waller says he favors multiple interest rate cuts in the coming months here. So that would be good news for us as well going forward. That would be risk on for the assets at that point, like Bitcoin miners, and in general, those types of assets. So that's possibly good news for us here, right? We'll find that out in, a week and a half, something like that, when we get that data coming out from the Fed as far as what they're going to do with the rate cuts there. So that's it for that. Next here, let's get into Hive really quick here, and we'll get into Cleanspark and Riot as well. Hive Digital Technologies completes phase 2 of its Waiguza project in Paraguay, reaching 18 exahash, producing 8 Bitcoin per day from hydroelectric power. So they today announced phase 2 ahead of schedule, and last week exceeded 18 exahash per second. The company rapidly eclipsed 17 exahash target, followed by the 18 exahash target, signifying completion of phase 2 in Waiguza as final ASICs were installed. So that's awesome to see there. They've been having really nice growth here in the last couple months. Love seeing that. And then with phase 2 finished at Waiguza, Hive has now successfully realized the goal of reaching a total global hash rate of 18 exahash by summer 2025, culminating in the completion of Waiguza with 200 megawatts using hydroelectric power now under operation in Paraguay with a global fleet efficiency of approximately 18.5 joules per terahash. Hive is one of the few companies in the world operating with a dual business model in Bitcoin mining and also in AI cloud computing powered by GPUs in our HPC data centers, said Aidan Kylik there, President and CEO. Yes, they are one of the few. We have obviously also Hut 8 that's in there. We got TeraWolf that's in there. We got IREN that's in there as well right now. I'm trying to think if anybody else is in there in that boat right now. BitDeer potentially, but I don't think they have any GPUs installed yet or any HPC business there on that one. Going down here, additionally, Hive is pleased to note that the transformers in phase 3 at Valenzuela site have been energized, marking the third 100 megawatt of green energy infrastructure Hive has built in Paraguay. We anticipate installing ASICs in the coming weeks as site construction of phase 3 is now substantially complete. So that's good news there. And Valenzuela is the final step in the expansion plan to 25 exahash. Upon completion by U.S. Thanksgiving, the company projects daily Bitcoin production of approximately 12 Bitcoin based on current network difficulty, which is also good there, right? They need to grow, and they probably need to grow even beyond that here when we look at things here. Okay, let's see here. All phase 3 ASICs destined for Valenzuela have been paid for, and all of these ASICs have already shipped. The initial batches of phase 3 ASICs have been received on site in Valenzuela and will be installed in next week, and the remainder are expected to arrive on site this month. So that's progressing nicely there. And then this update informs the market that capital expenditures for expansion have been deployed, and the expansion is now underway as hardware is delivered and installed on site at that point. So congrats to them. Great job. It's definitely going to be a nice update for them, especially since we're still this early in September and they got to 18x hash. That's going to result in nice revenues for them, increases in September as well. We'll see where they come in for August numbers, obviously, when they report later on, either this week or next week. Okay, so there's that. Next, let's talk about the correction here for the break-even numbers here. Yesterday, when we talked about this, as you recall, I had Mara like up to, it was over 121 million there at that point. The mistake I made here was the quarterly expenses on energy here. Here's the mistake I made. So if we look at their numbers here, I was using, I don't know why, I was sleeping behind the wheel. Whatever the reason was, I made a mistake here. I was using the 134 million plus the 41 million here, which should have been the 41 and 69 million. So that's my mistake. My bad. I do apologize for that. And you know, mistakes are going to happen from time to time with all the data that I'm tracking here. I can make a mistake. I'm only human. Things will happen here. But this basically brings them down to 88 million, or sorry, 88,000 per Bitcoin, right? Break even basically for them at that point. So that brings them just slightly ahead of Riot, it looks like, right? But Riot, we're not also including their I don't think I'm including their costs, their credits that they're getting for electricity here, which we'll talk about as well. Let me see here, Riot, really quick. Riot, what am I using for them? Oops, I didn't want to do that. Okay, there we go. And that and Riot here for energy expenses, I'm using financials here, just mining costs, basically expenses, 78 point, yeah. I'm not adding back in any, let's see if they have power credits. Probably should add that back in there. So let's see, let's do that right now. Let's just add that back in there to see what that actually will look like if we do add that in there. At that point, we probably should, because they do get credits for it, so that should probably lower their cost down here. All right, so that gets them down to 85,000, roughly, almost 86,000 here. So that's still a little bit lower than Mara is right now. Okay. The high cost ones are still Core and BitDeer, as it looks like right now, based on the numbers I could figure out. But again, they have other business segments as well, which makes it difficult. So like I said, my numbers are estimated here. So that does look a lot better for Mara there as it is. So again, I do apologize for the mistake. But when we do find out about them, and Crypto Klepto was kind enough to point this out to me, he questioned, he's like, hey, where'd you get this 140-some-odd million for energy cost? I'm like, let me take a look at that. And I did, and let him know, yeah, I made a mistake. He was right about that. So it is what it is, right? Made a mistake, we corrected it here, and we'll let everybody know about it as well. All right, so there's that. So we got the correction happening here, so you can see the updated numbers for all these guys here. And let's take a look at the news updates that we have from Cleanspark and Riot. So Cleanspark released their August 2025 Bitcoin production update here. And we do have some comments from Taylor Monick, Matt Schultz as well. So Taylor Monick says, I am proud of the work our operations and technology teams accomplished in August as they successfully managed through the summer heat, raising our average operating hash rate month over month. We will continue optimizing our sites ahead of cooler weather and the upcoming miner deployments later this year. Right, they're talking about getting to 60 exahash there. While August was a month of leadership transition, Cleanspark remained unwavering in its focus on operational performance and in continuing to grow our Bitcoin treasury to build long-term value for all stakeholders, said Matt Schultz, the new CEO there. Over the past calendar year, we've doubled our hash rate and built a Bitcoin treasury of nearly 13,000. We are now focused on maximizing our contracted power through mining and exploring other verticals, right? What does he mean by other verticals? Well, probably HPC AI, right? So we do need some updates on that part of it. That will help probably the stock price there. If we do get some updates from them, what are they planning on doing? Continuing on here, we have a proven track record of deliberate strategic discipline, and I am excited to enter our next phase of growth without ever losing sight of what got us here. So those are all good things here. Bitcoin produced was 657, down, was it down? I can't remember if it was down or up a little bit. I think it was down from actually July, I believe. Could be wrong on that. Average operating hash rate was 43.3. Total Bitcoin holdings was now 12,827. Total Bitcoin sold 533.5 there, looks like. What else do we have here? Utilized megawatts, 808. They do have 1.03 gigawatts under contract as it is on it, so that's it for that one. Let's take a look at the numbers that we do have here for them as it is. Scroll back up here. Cleanspark currently has about 281 million shares outstanding. Stock price as of today was $9.44. Market cap $2.6 billion right now. The performance over the last 12 weeks has been not good, right? They're down 3.3% down from 12 weeks ago. They're down 25.1% from 8 weeks ago. They're down 6% from 4 weeks ago. And then last week they were down 3.56%. Right, so the performance hasn't been really great here. They are at 50 exahash installed. Future hash rate of them at 57 right now. They're saying that they're getting to 60 exahash. So they still have quite a bit of growth here later on this year. Bitcoin HODL 12,827. That's valued at 1.4 billion roughly. That's 54% of their market cap right now. Each share has $5.11 on it. Their estimated revenue run rate right now, based on August numbers, is about 907 million for the year. Bitcoin produced here 657. Yeah, so it was down from July, 671. Right. What was the cause of that? Main cause of that, I think, is one, they're not growing their hash rate, so that's gonna be a effect there. The other part of it was the network hash rate has continued to grow, so you're gonna be generating less with the same amount, right? So the only way you're gonna be generating more revenue is Bitcoin price going up. Okay, so we got that. Monthly revenue also decreased here a little bit to 75.59 million. Bitcoin HODL continues to increase for them there. Hash rate growth, like I said, they've been at 50 exahash here for now 3 months since June here. So that is okay. They're still, one of the best ones there. Bitcoin sold 533, talked about that. BTC per exahash efficiency 13.1, still pretty good there. Going down here to institutions really quick here. Institutions did increase quite a bit here to 478. Shares owned should have been, I probably need another zero in that one. Let me put that one in. So I just caught that. It's 118,000. That is now 67.68 owned by institutions. We still have the 7 strong buy ratings, 4 buy ratings, 1 hold ratings, 0 underperforms, 0 sells. High price target did go up to $26. The average went up to 20.43, and the low stayed the same at $15 there as it is. Going down here, we can see for August here, they were operating roughly for 26.9 days out of the month. Which is a slight improvement over the 26.2 days that they had in July there, right? But they still generated less Bitcoin. The reason for that is network hash rate has increased. Their hash rate has stayed the same. Even if they increase their operational uptime a little bit or average uptime, you're going to have to surpass the amount the network hash rate actually grew. All right. Going down here, based on the numbers that we do have here for August, right? I said 907 million run rate right now as it is. I'm in between $24.20 to $36.31. They're at $9.44. Yeah, I think that they are undervalued right now as it is. So they're not the only ones in this space that are undervalued right now. There will be probably others as well when we talk about them. Some might be valued properly here. We'll take a look at those as well. Some undervalued, some probably overvalued as well, but it is what it is, right? They haven't gotten into HPC AI. Well, everybody else has been jumping into that ship, and that is a result of their stock performance here right now over the last, I would say, year. Okay, so definitely want to see them continue to grow their hash rate. Want to see them come up with some kind of ideas for Bitcoin and HPC AI as well, the growth there. What are their plans going to be? What sites do they have that are actually, pretty good for this type of HPC AI load? I mean, they do have 32 sites across the country here in 4 or 5 different states. So some of those sites should be a good candidate for HPC and I don't know which ones those are. Hopefully they do come out with a list for us. We'll see. Okay. All right. Let's go back into Riot here really quick, and we'll call it a day here. So Riot press release obviously announces August 2025 production update. Theirs is pretty short and sweet here. Bitcoin produced 477. Bitcoin held 19,309. Bitcoin sold 450. Power credits, they got a nice chunk of change here in power credits here, 15.2 million. What does that equate to? Approximately 150 Bitcoin, something like that, roughly, more or less. All-in power costs came in at 2.6 cents per kilowatt hour. That's really good here, right? 2.8 was the prior month of July for them. So that's looking really good there. And no commentary really there. Just a little bit here. The production is all in. Let's see. August represents 40% increase relative to August 2024. We were able to achieve strong production results while still realizing a low cost all-in power of 2.6 cents per kilowatt per month, which is a strong demonstration of our benefits of Riot's unique power strategy and the capabilities of our power management team. Okay, and then they got some investor events coming up as well. So we'll see what else to provide. But yeah, I mean, no news on HPCI or anything like that. What are they doing there? Progressing on it, or have they stalled out on that? Would have been nice to get a little update on that as well, but we haven't. So let's take a look at Riot here really quick, and we'll get into Q&A. Okay, so Riot here, 369 million shares outstanding. Stock price is at 13.45. Market cap 4.9 billion as it is. So they actually have, they're double, pretty much, of where Cleanspark is, with lower hash rate, less revenue. But they started to talk about HPCI back in December of last year, I think I want to say. And that has helped the stock, right? So any company that starts talking about HPCI potential, stocks do pretty well there. Their performance of the last 12 weeks has been actually really good. 39% up from 12 weeks ago. From 8 weeks ago, they're up 10.8. From 4 weeks, they're up 24.2. And then last week, they were up 4.08%. So the stock's been doing pretty good here recently, at least, on it. Current hash rate 35. Future hash rate is going to be 45. I need to update that as well. So they do have about 10 exahash of growth. That's going to be happening all the way up through the end of the first quarter of 2026. So that's coming up there. Bitcoin HODL, 19,309, valued at 2.16 billion as it is right now. HODL to market cap is 43.46%, and each share has $5.85 of HODL in it right now. You can see their estimated revenue annual run rate right now in Bitcoin mining is about 658 million. So, like I said, kind of you see the two different sides of this, right? Riot, 658 million run rate. Cleanspark, 900 some million. You're seeing that difference there, but you're seeing that difference in market cap as well because of HPCI potential. Okay. Looking at BTC production here, down a little bit here, 477 from July. Revenue also came down a little bit to 54.8 million estimated, right, on that one. HODL has continued to increase here slowly, but it's increasing here nonetheless, right? After they bought back in December of 2024, 5,781 or 5,000 something in Bitcoin that they bought at that point. Hash rate has continued to be kind of flat right now. I know they're going to be installing more machines as time progresses. BTC per exahash efficiency, 13.4. That's really actually pretty good there for them. Bitcoin sold value, we talked about that. Going down here to institutions. Institutions did increase quite a bit for them as well. 562 now. That's almost 20. Well, I think it's 29 institutions added in the last month. Shares also increased quite a bit there to 234 million. It is now 64.3% owned by institutions. We now have one additional strong buy rating for them, 11 analysts now. We still have the 4 buy ratings, 2 hold ratings, 0 underperform, 0 sell targets from analysts, and high price actually went down for them to $24 from $25. The average went down a little bit as well to $17.40 from $17.67, and the low stayed the same at $11 for them as it is. For August here, they were operating roughly, based on my numbers, about 27.5 days out of the month here, which is a slight increase from the 26.7 that they had here in July. That got us to the 54.881 million here in revenue roughly for them. And based on that revenue, they having between $13.36 somewhere and $20.04. They're at $13.45, so they're kind of fairly valued on the lower end, I would say. They can definitely still go up based on this, but you can see that they're being more fairly valued just on their Bitcoin production than other miners are right now. Okay, what can we say about Riot? Definitely love the fact that they're still growing their hash rate to 45 exahash by the end of Q1 of 2026. They do have the HPCI potential there. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait on any details that they provide us going forward, right? Like I keep saying, they're not the only ones trying to get HPCI. You got IREN trying to do that. You got Cypher trying to do that. You got Hut 8 trying to do that. You got Cleanspark now possibly trying to do that as well. Who else am I missing there? Hive, BitDeer as well. I mean, pretty much everybody and their uncle right now. TerraWolf, all the rest as well. So we'll see on that. But I do like the fact that they're growing with their Bitcoin side of things as well, and they're leaving the door obviously open for HPCI deals as well. So yeah, that's it. We'll see where everybody ends up at here. But as always, these spreadsheets are available to my Patreon members. Link for that is down in the description. That's the only thing I ever ask of you guys. If you want to join, that's great. A couple bucks a month there. All right, let's get into Q&A here, and we'll see where we are with everything. As always, I'm going to scroll up on questions. If you could preface your questions with a question mark or a Q, I would appreciate it. I'm going to work my way up and then work my way down as well, and we'll go from there. Okay. Sour Melon says, disappointed in Cleanspark report. I mean, production wasn't, wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. They had, obviously, curtailment happening there. Not a big deal. So we're okay there. Let's see. George says, the reason Matt has not shared anything concrete on HPCI plan is because they have no plan. They were just waiting for BTC to go banana mode. That might be part of it, right? And it's still early for them. So I think they might be working on a plan. So hopefully in time we'll get something on that. CG asks, Seb, are you going to buy some Hive? You are crazy right now not selling your IREN for Hive. I think Hive or IREN has a lot more potential than Hive. Hive, like I said before many times here, their operations are great. The growth is great here. The only thing is the operations are not in the United States. I don't know if that's going to be a detriment to the stock there, right? I mean, we've seen the stock do pretty well here recently. How much higher will it go? I don't know. But I don't know if it's going to do as well as some of the other companies that are based, well, not even based in the United States, but have operations in the United States. I think that's a big thing there. Okay, let's see. DGAF says, HPC is a no-win. This is BTC miners land. We're into both, I would say. Let's see. George says, Sebastian, you must follow the free financial advice provided to you in the chat window of a YouTube video. Okay. Like everything here is not financial advice, right? Do your own research as always. All right. Sadie, thank you as always for the likes. Greatly appreciated. What else we got here? Muddy Oaks says, quiet room tonight. That's Wednesday. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. We got 72 people here. It's not too bad. Daryl, question. What do you think will be fair value for Hive when they are mining 360 BTC per month and BTC is at 150,000 at that point? I would think the fair value, I think the value is low as it is right now on them. If we look at them really quick here, let's see, where do I have them at? I think I'm much higher than where they are right now. So first, let's see if we can get to these numbers here for them before we start thinking about Bitcoin 150,000, them being at, mining 350 Bitcoin a month here. Right now they're at 288. I have them between 735 and 1102. I actually discount them a little bit on the PE side of things to 10 because of no operations in the United States here. Right now they're kind of getting probably, let's take a look at where they at, like 4. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. At that point, maybe 4 PE. That's what they're getting. I think that should be somewhere around 10 maybe. So I'm thinking that they should be higher as it is right now. That I think that would be more of a fair value for them. Right? They're only being valued at right now, what, 588 million? Doesn't make much sense there. Let's take a look at their assets here on the book really quick. What is that showing us here? Let's see, total assets, 628 million. Yeah, there's some debt and liabilities and things like that. Let's see, total liabilities is 68 million, so that's still not that bad. So, they're just being valued at book value right now, it looks like. No premium whatsoever on that. Yeah, so we'll leave it at that. All right, let's go back here. Let's see. Daryl says, Riot and Hive will run nicely in the next 3 weeks. Load up, people. Okay. Let's see. Richard says, Cleanspark makes no sense. Company is doing everything right. I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it too as well. I think if Bitcoin does go banana mode on us, that would be a big thing for us. I think with them possibly shedding some light on HPCI potential, that would be a good thing as well. Maybe it would help the stock pump a little bit. I would definitely like to have them come out and say, these are the sites that have potential, and here's how many megawatts that we could possibly put towards that as we look for other sites to maybe move those ASICs into someplace else, right? I would definitely love to see that type of information, because that's probably one of the first things that I would do if I was a company in Bitcoin mining and I had 32, 33 sites and look into get into HPCI. I'd look at each site and see which sites have a possibility there, and I would report that. All right. Let's see. DGAF says ABTC, Mara, Cleanspark for FTW, most pure BTC miner. Well, ABTC might be the most pure Bitcoin miner. I don't know if they're going to have any ambitions for HPCI. Yeah, Not sure. All right. Pitt says, double or nothing, but another 1,800 shares of Cleanspark yesterday, holding a big bag now. Awesome. All right. Ron, question. Hey, Seb, I hope you're well. Thoughts on MicroStrategy stock price inclusion on its impact on Bitcoin price and miners price? Stock price inclusion on the S&P 500. Is that what you're talking about there? And its impact on Bitcoin price and miners price. Well, MicroStrategy has been buying a lot of Bitcoin, right? I love that they're buying it up. That has definitely helped, I think, Bitcoin gain more adoption with other companies buying it as well. So they've been obviously they've been kind of like the canary in the coal mine a little bit in regard to buying up all this Bitcoin for the treasury here. Others are seeing that it has worked out well for them, but they've also, put out these other the STRC shares out there as well. Other things, they've done other things that are making it hard for MicroStrategy stock itself, MSTR, to go up after it got up to $540 per share last November, if you recall that. And it's come down, obviously, from there, and it hasn't done that well. But it has definitely, I think, helped Bitcoin price stay not muted, but less volatile, possibly, as far as going down, 30, 40, 50%, whatever it would have done otherwise. Along with, like, the ETFs. The ETFs have also had a tremendous impact on Bitcoin price, leveling out a little bit, not going as crazily up or crazily down here. And as far as miners price, I mean, miners that do have a hodl position there, they're not getting the love for that either. So it seems like maybe our initial thoughts with miners hodling it, I think there's still probably a good play to do this. I think if you play the cycle a little bit and you get Bitcoin, you can mine it at a much lower cost, hodl it for a little bit, whether it's a year and a half, 2 years, and then sell it at a nice profit there, right? I think that's still a good thing, but they're just not being rewarded for it right now by the market, right? Because otherwise, Mara would be valued probably double from where it's at right now, as it is. So, yeah, I don't know if it's helped the Bitcoin miners at all. I think it's opened up avenues for the miners, people that would have invested in miners, to go other places, MicroStrategy, the ETFs as well for Bitcoin, those types of places. Because before, the miners were the only on-ramp to Bitcoin at that point. All right. John says, this is why S&P 500, 7,500 will happen end of year 26. AI is in the second inning. Okay. All right. JMOT, same here, long Sparky for 5 years total, even before BTC pivot. More aggressive on my covered calls moving forward. Very nice. All right. Yeah, I've been in Cleanspark now since 2022. Started buying into that one in 2022. How many Cleanspark you hold? For me, it's I have 10,000 shares right now. Let's see. Hi, Sebastian. Hope all is well. It is. Hope you're doing well as well. Are you still holding Cleanspark? Yes, I am still holding Cleanspark. I am still holding it and buying every day. No other miner. Okay. You definitely have conviction there as well. I'm still holding it. But yeah, if it came down below $9, I'd probably buy some more of it. That's kind of where I would start nibbling on it again. All right. Guy asks, what do you think when the crypto winter will start bear market in 2026? I mean, are we talking like historical crypto markets? Bitcoin going down 60, 70%, 80%? I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah, I'm having a hard time thinking that might happen because of the institutions, the ETFs, the treasury companies, buying up Bitcoin and all that stuff. I don't know if that's going to happen. If we do go and have a little correction, I think it's going to be like 30, 35% in Bitcoin. We've seen that already twice this past year already. It's not out of the question there. So I would see maybe we have something like that, and we go back up even higher, right? That's why I'm saying it might be an extended cycle. All right. Question on ABTC thoughts. I need to see some more data on that, some more information from them. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that right now, because right now there's a lot of what ifs. I need to find out what they're being charged by Hut 8 to host their machines there for them. Yeah, I need to probably wait at least a quarter once they report a full quarter or something like that to get some data on it. I mean, right now they're in September, so they're going to have basically a month of operation as ABTC. Might be a while, but we'll see. Maybe they start providing us some updates from their monthly production updates. If they do, that'd be great. We'll cover it at that point and see how they do. Shinshi has a question. Hi Seb, any news on why TerraWolf dropped 6% today? The CFO was on McNally Money and gave a price target of 14 as of today's valuation. Well, was it the CFO that gave the price target there? Right, they probably shouldn't be doing that. They should be saying they think that it's still undervalued or something like that, but they shouldn't probably give him a price target, I don't think. Let me see here. Wolf. So if you, yeah, I mean, Wolf was down. I mean, it got to a high of 1071 here. If we look at the chart on it, and it's been kind of going up and down here a little bit in the last, 2 weeks or so, after the news came out that they got to deal with Fluid Stack, and Google's backing that up there. And yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, I don't know why. I mean, it's been going up here a little bit here in the last couple of days. I think maybe just a correction here. People were just looking to take some profits maybe at this point. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, there's nothing else that's happening out there, but we saw pretty much everybody else being down. We saw BitDeer being down 6.88% as well today, right? Riot was down 4.54%. A lot of these guys were at least 2%, 3% down today. IREN was down 3%. Right, IREN had a nice run up here, a little correction here happening. Maybe it's just a little small correction that we're seeing here in the markets with the miners. We'll see what they do tomorrow. Okay, let's see here. Guy says, I don't think so BTC miners follow BTC anymore. IREN 3x in last 3 months, and Cleanspark Mara did not even move. Yeah, but IREN moved on HPCI, right? The other Cleanspark and Mara were both pretty much pure play miners until recently, at least for Cleanspark here, and same thing for Mara, I think. Mara's probably looking into that as well. JMOT has a question. How likely is it that investors in MSTR are taking short positions as a hedge on the miners? I have had the suspicion for Cleanspark over the last year that would actually make some sense to me. It has been the case. We have heard this before, that people are shorting the miners and going along MicroStrategy or going along Bitcoin. They're doing that, so there could be a possibility there as well. I think that it's probably a high likely possibility. Ron, question, hypothetical. If you could only do one for the next 30 years, would you own a purely mining stock, HPCI stock, or a treasury stock? Which would be your top pick for each? Oh man, pure play. Well, there's not many pure play miners left as it is. Before Cleanspark looking to transition into HPCI, I would say Cleanspark would probably be the one there. IREN obviously is both HPCI and Bitcoin mining now. I would say that's another one that I would pick there. And Treasury, I'd probably go with MicroStrategy there. But just depending which stock you go there, or which ticker symbol, right? You got STRC, you got MSTR, you got some other ones in there as well. That would be the tough choice there. Let's see. DJ says, run Treasury versus miners, HODL supply. I'm not sure what you're asking there for. Let's see. Shinshi, thanks for the content. What percentage of your portfolio are you up in? Since November 2024, I wonder if my portfolio is lagging. I am up, well, I'd have to look back, but I believe everything is up right now except for Bitfarms. Bitfarms was a higher price at that point, and I'll have to look to see where I was with, I think maybe Cleanspark's down from that a little bit. But IREN has outperformed, so has Cypher here recently, and I got into IREN last year, so I'm still up, I'm higher than I was last November because I did some movements around and moved some stuff around. So my portfolio is higher from where it was last November, at least based on that. All right. Guy asks, can you please do some research on Raytech holding? Could be a good time to buy. Raytech, I'll take a look at it. I don't even know what that one is or what's it doing, but I'll take a look at it. If it looks promising or something like that, maybe we'll cover it. Let me see here. Ray, I'll just do Ray. Okay, I'll take a look at it. All right. MJS, what do you think of adding to IREN on a pullback to around 23-25 area? I think they still the best risk return of all the miners going forward. I would Yeah, I could see that. I think if we get a pullback, it might be a good pullback to buy into, right? Buy some more into it at that point. Um, I think they're going to go up higher, but they do need to obviously continue to grow with their HPC AI business, and they need to maybe provide some kind of a co-location deal or something like that. That would definitely, spike the stock up another, at least 100% at that point. So it is a good risk to reward at this point, I think. All right, talked about that one already. Let's see. George, where are these whales selling massive amounts of BTC coming from? Who has the patience to hold all the way from a few dollars to six figures? Whales. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys got into it way back when, or they bought it way back when, and they've been holding on to it. There's quite a few of those guys there. Yeah. But, yeah, and they sold a portion of it, right? They haven't sold everything. But, yeah, I mean, some of these guys are selling billions of dollars of Bitcoin there. Yeah. All right, Connie, big tech event at White House tomorrow. Do you know anything about this and what it is about? I do not. Big tech event, I'm guessing maybe something to do with chips or AI or something like that. I don't know. J-Mod says, thanks, Seb. You're very welcome. Richard, Mara could sit on its BTC and just call itself a software company. They could do that as well, right? Get rid of the Bitcoin mining side of the business and just become a strategy company again. Or not again, become a strategy company. Let's see. Shinchi, why should we expect markets to go up 2 weeks from now if historically markets fall right after the Fed cuts rates during emergencies such as 2008? Well, that was different. I mean, everything was crashing at that point, right? The whole world was crashing because of the housing market. Banks were failing. All that stuff was happening during that time frame. So that's a different story. Right now, it's more on the jobs, right? The jobs, Fed has a dual mandate, right? Keep the jobs up and keep inflation in check. So they can run a little bit hot on inflation, and in order to keep jobs, the economy moving along. So that's why I think the market is looking to have a nice run up here afterwards. Okay, Ron's got a question here. Any chance you can invite Ben Gagnon for an interview on your live? I can reach out to him, see if he's available or something like that. The only thing is time, right? I'm usually doing these streams late at night, or I could do it on the weekends. But again, those guys are also spending time with their families, right? So, or they might be actually working too. But that's the only issue that I've been running into right now is time-wise, schedule-wise. I work during the day, so it's tough for me to do anything during the day. Then I still have kids and things like that. I can do this stuff at night. Most people are home by then. They're spending time with their families and things like that. So that's the reason it's tough. But I could check. And George says, yeah, I second that. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to get Ben on. I'd love to get Matt on, obviously, as well, one of these days, if possible. Just have a chat with them on operations, things like that. Overall, what are they thinking, right? What are they thinking about the Bitcoin going forward? Is this going to be an extended cycle? Are we going to have a repeat of the cycles we've had before? Just general questions, just to see where their head's at on all this stuff here. MJS says, are you making any portfolio adjustments? The only portfolio adjustments that I made were yesterday. Yeah, Tuesday. I sold Mara and I sold Rivian, bought some more Cypher. That's the only adjustments that I did there. Right now, and I'm going to hold on to that, see where things go. If anything, I might, buy some more in a couple weeks. All right. Let's see. Shinchi, I suspect the markets will fall for the 2 weeks between now and the Fed rate cuts. They might, right? They might bring things down a little bit, just so they can pump it back up and make money that way as well. So that is a possibility. All right, question from Meat Force here. Cypher rumored to have a deal announced soon. It will get its IREN moment. And that's kind of what we're hearing there, right? I hope it does happen because I have a nice position now in Cypher. Not as nice as I have one in CleanSpark or IREN, but it's still in a very nice position there. So if it does go up double from where it's at right now, that'd be great. I'd be happy with it. It could go up even higher. We'll see what that kind of deal is. So I'm all for it there. Let's see, we got one more question coming in from Ron, and I think we're pretty much cut up here to everything. Let's see, come on, get into my screen there. There we go. And we got something from MJS as well. Okay, Ron, do you have any investment regrets, missed opportunities? Yeah, back in 2017, 2018, I got into Hive. Right, Bitcoin went up to 63,000 and 69,000 in 2021. Should have sold back then, would have been up a much higher percentage rate than when I finally did get out of Hive, which was back in 2023, 2024. When did I get out of that one? I can't remember when. But that one, I should have gotten out sooner. You learn based on that. Any other regrets? When I was younger, didn't know really what the heck I was doing. I was trying to do research on investing and things like that. I invested in penny stocks. I invested in pharmaceutical stocks. Lost money at that point. So, yeah. But also, life was busy, working full time, going to school and all those things takes a toll out of you. So I didn't have much time to invest. I wish I would have started investing much sooner, much earlier, and a lot more. Right? So I think that's one of those golden wisdoms that we need to teach our kids, is to invest as early as possible as they can, and put off instant gratification for things you can have later on. I think our mentality and our behavior is for instant gratification. I have some cash. I want to, get this shiny new thing or get that shiny new thing. Where instead we should look at how can we have the money that we have right now generate money for us later on, that we can then have those things and have even more money later on. So I think that kind of has to change as well. And I'm trying to do that with my boys as well right now, trying to just instill some basic understanding of financing, how to save money, how to do all that stuff here a little bit. And hopefully they do better than I do, right? That's all we can ever hope for. Where am I at here? All right, MJS says, I'm looking to sell some Cleanspark and buy more IREN and Cypher. Thoughts? I mean, I did that last year. I did that this year as well, right? I was nicely up on Cleanspark last year, and I sold like 20% of it at that time, bought IREN at that time. And then this year I did the same thing. I sold a little bit of Cleanspark and a little bit of IREN and bought Cypher. So sometimes I will do those things to reposition things. Let's see, Daryl, I hear that Seb, after a regular 14-hour work day, I just have enough time to tuck my son in into bed. Yeah, it's tough. But we do what we got to do to hopefully our kids have a better life than we did. Benny, thinking about selling my clean and buying more Cypher. What do you think? You can do that, definitely. I mean, reposition. If you're up nicely on it, or if you're not even up nicely, if you want to reposition. No shame in that. Shinshi, Seb, what should my net worth be at 40 years old? I mean, you should have at least several $100,000 in, whether it's retirement account or an investment account or something like that. You should have at least somewhere around there. And hopefully that's growing for you nicely, because you got basically 20 some odd more years to grow. But if you have more than that, that's even better, right? I'm saying at least probably like close to $500,000 at that 40. Because a lot of your a lot of your income is going to be right around these years, 40 to 50 and into 60 years old. That's where a vast majority of your income is. Unless you have a business of your own, something like that, then you're already making great money at that point. But you should be putting away as much as you can. All right. Daryl, question, would you sell Mara to buy Cypher now? I did, actually, yesterday. I bought some more Cypher yesterday at $8.01. Sold Mara, sold Rivian at that point. Yeah, I mean, Mara's not having a great year. Daryl says, agreed, I'm 48 now and didn't start investing until I was 35. I will teach my son early. Yeah, the earlier, the better. I mean, that's the disappointing part of our education system in the United States, and maybe all over the world even, maybe not everywhere, is we don't teach that kind of mentality in school. We teach them to read, write, do math, and basically then go figure out the world. They need to be taught investing and how investing works and how it can help them out and all that stuff. It should be a much longer course than just a quarter or something like that they might have on it. Yeah, it's a disservice to our kids, unfortunately. All right, Mr. X, what is your all-time high for Bitcoin for 2025? Mine is 150,000. Mine originally was 180,000. That was with the thought that we were going to have similar cycles like last couple of times. Now I'm thinking, yeah, we might get to like 150,000 this year, just based on what we're seeing here recently. I mean, Bitcoin's up only, 7-8%, maybe 10%. on the year from the beginning. So it's not having a great moment. Yeah, so 150,000 I think would be fair, right? And then we go up even further next year as well, possibly to like 200,000 beyond. All right. And Kush asks, Sebastian, do you have another job? I do. Yeah, I work a full-time job during the day, and then I get home, spend time with the kids, prepare for these live streams, get all the data inputted and everything else, and then go live here now. I mean, it's 10:35 right now. I'll finish up here in a couple more minutes, and then I'll relax for a little bit for about an hour, maybe watch something just to relax, and go to bed. Rinse and repeat. Do the same thing again next day. Wake up early in the morning, 7 o'clock, go to work, spend time with the kids, and rinse and repeat. I'd rather do this than watch TV and have my brain rotted from that stuff. All right. More Tim asks, question, what is Cypher's rumor? Mike Alford said something weeks ago. Anyone else? I think it's been mostly Mike. I haven't heard anybody else talking about it. Yes, they do have the megawatts available. They have the sites available for it as well. They almost had a deal with OpenAI, I believe it was, right? But that fell through. So there's some possibilities there for it. Ron Seb for president. Can't be president. Wasn't born here in the United States. So I can't be president. Wouldn't want to be either. I could be king for maybe 2 weeks. I could do that. Change a lot of stuff around in 2 weeks if I was king. Let's see, Mr. X, question, what's your all-time prediction? Okay, talk about that. Yeah, I'm thinking about 150,000 to 200,000, somewhere around there. Many people keep saying 150,000 BTC, but BTC does not even move. Yeah, I mean, it's been flat this year. It's up a little bit, right? What is it, 10% now? Let's take a look at it. Where the heck is it at for the year? I checked it, when was it? Let me see if I got this over here. Maybe. We got the quarterly. Do we have the yearly? Bitcoin quarterly returns. Where is it at on the yearly, weekly, quarterly returns? I want to see yearly, not that one. Okay, so let's take a look at it. Let's see, do I have the year here on this one? 1 hour, 12-month ranges. Okay, there we go. Let's see, here we go. There it is. So for the year, Bitcoin is up, okay, 19%. So I was off. Earlier was only like 10%, 12%, something like that. So it's up 19% on the year. We started out we opened out the year at 93,000. We got to, well, right now we're at 111,000 right now as it is. So we're up 17,000, almost 18,000 there. We were up higher, but another 10,000, 13,000 higher. So that probably would have got us up to, what, 35% on the year? So it wouldn't be too bad, actually, all things considered. So we'll see where we end up by the end of the year here. If we're up, 35, 40% on the year, that might actually be pretty good, right? So then the following year, we could even do better in 2026, depending, or still have another year where we're up only 20, 30%, which still wouldn't be too bad because we'd still be beating the S&P at that point. So, yeah, we'll see. Okay, what else we got here? Talked about that. She asks, Seb, how old are you? How many children and how long in marriage? Thanks for the life advice. You should give the advice more often because you are the kind of guy I trust. Okay, I appreciate that. All right, so I'm in my late 40s. Got a couple more years to go before I hit 50. I've been married to my wife now for 20 years. We're going to be celebrating that this month. So we're 20 years. And I got 2 boys. They are almost 14 and almost 8. And yeah, I'd do anything for those boys. Hopefully they don't disappoint me later on when they start getting older and start talking back. Right now they're fantastic. So I wouldn't be doing this if they weren't. What else we got? All right. Talked about that already. Talked about that one. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Mortim says, if Bitcoin gets to just 150,000 by the end of the year and IREN also gets a deal, I think 60, 70 is doable with dual catalysts. I would agree with you there. Yeah. If Bitcoin gets to 150,000, right, they're going to be generating definitely a lot more revenue from Bitcoin mining side of things. And if they have a nice deal with somebody as well, that's going to be a nice catalyst for it also. So, I mean, we're at $30 right now as it is. So a 2x from here, yeah, I could definitely see that. Daryl asked a question, where were you born? I was born in Poland, actually. And I moved here when I was 8 years old. 8 years old. It's actually a very interesting story. My dad actually went through a lot. He was a coal miner in Poland during that time. He was part of the Solidarity movement. He had to basically run away from officials in Poland he had to seek political asylum, basically. He went first to Austria. He was there for about a year and a half to 2 years there. So this was when I was 6 years old, roughly. And then he tried getting political asylum in Canada. Canada said no. United States said, come on in. Well, we'll take you in. He got sponsored by three churches in the area that we live in now. They helped him out, basically find a job, get a car, all that stuff. And he is one of the strongest proponents of loving America. He said America gave him a future that he did not see in his home country at that time. Things have changed, obviously, in Poland since then. But at the time, it has obviously given him a lot more than he could have ever asked for. So he's very, very grateful to the United States, and so am I. Because of that, I'm obviously here. My kids are here. I'm extremely grateful for the help that the United States has offered our family. Right. So I keep telling my dad he should probably do like a book on it. I mean, he's got so many stories and everything else that was going on at that time, and it would be an interesting thing to read. And I hope he does it, because I think it'd be nice to actually spread that down through the generations of where did we come from? Why are we here in the United States instead of not being in Poland? So it is. It's an interesting story, and I am forever grateful. I love this country. I would defend it. I'll defend your rights. I think the Constitution is a magnificent. I can't spell the word. Magnificent literature. It is. I mean, it's absolutely marvel. The rights that people have here in the United States, a lot of people take that for granted. I may not agree with your point of view, but I will support you to the end for you to have your point of view. Right? That is something that is not available in all other countries. It has gotten better. In some places, it's actually getting worse. But in other countries, you did not have those types of liberties. So do not take those things for granted. And be mindful that other people have opposing viewpoints, right? It's their opposing viewpoints. It doesn't mean that they affect you in any way. Don't take it personally unless they actually insult you or something like that. But even then, words are words. Brush them off. You'll be fine. But that's just my take. So, yeah, I love America. Let's see. MJS, yeah, you were close. Northern Europe? Yep. All right, Ron, what's your BTC wallet phrase? Kidding. Thanks for all you do. Appreciate it. Yeah, you're not getting that. That's for sure. That says right on. Good dad. Let's see here. Wow, my mother is Polish. We are broskies. LOL. There you go. Awesome. Andrea says that's a great story, Seb. Thank you. Andrea says my husband's Polish. Okay, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of Polish community here in the United States. There's a lot, obviously, in Chicago. There's a lot in New Jersey, Ohio, actually. It's a large community here. There's a lot of people there. MJS. Some of my cyclist buddies are from Poland, and one rode in the Olympics for Poland. Awesome. Yeah. For the most part, Polish people will give you the shirt off their backs to help you out. They do like to party. They do like to drink as well. Not all of them, but we like to have a good time as well. And for the most part, I would say 99% of the time they're good people, good, hardworking people, which is kind of nice. And like I said, they would give you for the most part, their shirt off their backs. But yeah. All right. I think I've come to all your guys' questions here. I think we're done on it as it is. The backstory of my life a little bit there as well. But yeah, so God bless America, right? Love this country. Be thankful you were born here. Be thankful you were not born someplace else. And see what else. Shinshin, let's see here. Shinshin says, I was born in Africa. I'm living in Canada for 18 years and am learning from a Polish American. Okay. Awesome. I'm guessing you're talking about me then, maybe. Let's see. MJS is very open-minded here. Benjamin retracted their message. Daryl says, thanks again, Seb. Good night. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at there. Sadie as well. Thank you so much. Everyone, thank you so much for coming in here. This was definitely fun. Love doing this. And we'll definitely do this tomorrow as well. See where everybody else comes in at. We'll see where Bitcoin is. We'll see where the miners are at that point as well. We'll see where everything else is, and we'll cover it all. But yeah, greatly appreciate you guys coming in here. This has been fun. It's always fun. I greatly enjoy this. If I didn't enjoy this, I wouldn't be doing it. So really appreciate you guys there. Pete, trzymaj się też. Seba, I appreciate that very much. You guys have a great night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you all.